Middle of the summer, folks. We got some really gorgeous second cutting alfalfa getting ready to be harvested within the next week or so. It looks really, really good. It's all basically knee high right now. And we're gonna let it go just a little bit more, send it to the press. I don't want it to test. I mean, I would be okay if it tested dairy quality, I guess, but I know it's not going to, because I'm gonna go for a little bit of extra tonnage and just put up some nice clean and green alfalfa for the press. But this pivot, in fact, all these pivots up here, they all tested dairy quality first cutting, and we got really good tonnage off of it. But it's so hot, it's 100 degrees every day. So I imagine we are right now, if I was to cut it today, it would probably test, but I'm not going to, because I want a little extra tonnage. Like, try to push my tonnage to, hopefully, I'm hoping 7-ton mark this year, but we're gonna find out. So we got that is getting ready to be harvested again. And then over here, this is my pivot of Timothy we just took off, and we got the water back on it about 3 days ago. And I think it's going through a summer root shedding process. Timothy sheds its roots about twice a year usually, and that's why it's a little on the yellow side, but it's starting to green back up. But Timothy, where we cut it, it only takes 2 cuttings a year, but they're massive cuttings. So like this one here, we just took 120 acre pivot, we just took 700 bales off of it. All went to the press. In fact, the stack's tarped right up there, full wrap. Absolutely gorgeous hay. The color was awesome. It's Derby is the variety of Timothy that one is, and it absolutely put up really nice. Like I said, it was just over 700 bales we took off that pivot. So they're about 1,250 pounds probably. So grass bales are a little lighter than my alfalfa. My alfalfa is usually around anywhere from 1,500 to 1,700 pounds, depending on what the moisture is like. This year, it's been a real hot summer, so the dew moisture has been tough to find, but all the hay this spring has been real high grade, nice hay. So we're excited to see how many more tons we can put up on these pivots of alfalfa, and probably get another 2.5-3 ton of the acre off that Timothy as well. So we got everything's all full wrapped. I don't know if you guys can see that up there. I don't know if I can zoom in or not, but everything up there is all full wrapped. Everything we've put up this year is full wrapped, because it's all going to export or to a dairy. So pretty cool, pretty nice alfalfa. Absolutely gorgeous. A couple of big old stacks of alfalfa around here up the road. One big ass stack of Timothy. Let's see what she looks like. I don't know if I can get in here or not. They got it wrapped up pretty good. But... oh, yeah, it's nice and green. Absolutely beautiful hay. Big old Timothy heads. It's all going to the press. It's all sold. Another big stack of alfalfa. And a couple more nice pivots of alfalfa that are getting ready to take our second cutting off of. Sure is nice hay. I imagine that this is knee high already. We're up to my knees. It's probably gonna go in another week. It's gonna go another 2.5 ton to the acre. It was 2.25 first cutting, and all tested 55.5 TDN. So looking to, probably won't get that high of a test, but we're looking to get that same tonnage or more. So It's gonna be gorgeous gorgeous press hay, excuse me. Mother Nature's nice to us. It's the new pivot of alfalfa I planted this spring. Tore out a pivot of Timothy, so you can see, in fact, you can see, had some volunteer Timothy come back, but there's all my alfalfa, just prettier than can be. And I got some oats planted in with it. And this is probably about 2 weeks. We'll be knocking this down to clean the oats off because the oats look like they're probably about a week from starting to head out. So I like to get it that way, but I like that alfalfa to get up real nice too. Get out here a little farther, kind of got some grasshoppers we sprayed for, kind of knocked down the outside edge, but you get in here, man, this alfalfa is just really coming up, just gorgeous. It's 6422Q is this variety. It's real leafy. It's a really good producer, but this pivot is really nice. Really nice stand of alfalfa for spring plant alfalfa. It's all I always plant my alfalfa, but we are going to do two in the, well, here in about another month, we're going to plant 2 pivots of alfalfa. So, but normally I plant it all in the spring. See my rows of grain, and the alfalfa was all planted with a brilliant seeder, so it's all broadcasted, but gosh darn, it sure is nice. This is going to make some really nice hay. Pivot of orchard grass we just baled up, turned out really nice and green. This pivot, we had this pivot was ready to rake, and had a Nevada tornado. Believe it or not, you can have tornadoes in Nevada. Came through here, it took this whole pivot to the ground, and we got it back up. The Valley dealer, I got a broken boom back off there, I need to get that fixed. Had the Valley dealer from Winnemucca come in, and they got this pivot all back up for me and took the other one off and set it over there, but it took the whole pivot to the ground. A tornado did, and basically tethered my whole damn field and sucked half the frickin' hay up and kicked it out in the desert, but still put up a lot of bales. It was still, after we got it in the stack, it was still over 500 bales. And so I got a little bit behind on my watering because the damn pivot was down for 3 extra days, but we got her back on today, and she's greening back up pretty good. Got a broken boom back right there. I need to get that replaced. But this pivot of orchard grass is coming back really, really well. Got my tank of fertilizer out there, getting ready to start fertilizing again once it makes a couple passes of water, and get her nice and green back up. Get the fertilizer dumped on her. Make for pretty nice hay. Got 2 pivots of our barley knocked down here. This is that stuff I planted this spring. It's getting pretty close to being ready to bale. Why it takes forever for grain to dry, especially when it's this thick, but the stuff was like probably up to here on me when we cut it. Really nice though. It's gonna make for some hellacious tonnage. Kind of gambled this year. We knew the hay market was gonna be strong, and grain in a bale is more often than not a real loser. I just hate planting grain and baling grain because it's just never worth anything. But this year the price is really, really good. But this grain, this barley, it just basically headed out. And it's drying really well. We should be able to bale this anytime. Wait for them knuckles to pop, but just like that. That's how you know you're getting close to being able to bale. There is still some spots in here that are a little on the damp side, but for the most part, it's good and cured, and it's gonna make some really, really nice grain hay. So pretty excited. Hope this goes really well. Yeah, it's still not quite. Some of it's just got a little, probably one more day and we'll be baling this. But extremely thick.